for Ascari, being an aggressive explorer that we are, these are the sorts of opportunities that really excite our company. And like you've said, Stephen, now's the perfect time to get invested into gold. It's not showing any signs of lessening its aggressive climb in terms of pricing. And I think that eastern part of Africa, all the way from Egypt down into Kenya, passing through Ethiopia, is something that's going to be getting a lot more attention from investors in due course as well.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Ascari Metals Executive Director, Gino Dana. Gino, very good to meet you. For viewers new to the story, tell us a bit about Ascari Metals and what you do.
Perfect. No, thanks very much for hosting today, Steve. So, Ascari Metals, we're listed on the ASX. Our code is AS2. We're an African-focused exploration company. We've got assets in Namibia, and also most recently, we have assets in Ethiopia focused on gold.
Maybe starting off with Namibia. So that is your US property. Tell us about the prospects you're seeing there.
Yeah, perfect. So OIS is a very strategic asset for the company. It's located in the central western part of Namibia in what they know as the Erongo region, but it's located along strike and actually neighboring the OIS tin mine, which is owned by Andrada Mining. So that's a tin mine that's been in operation since the 1980s. Now, the reason why OIS is a flagship asset for the company is also the strategic location as far as infrastructure is concerned. You've got an all-purpose, all-seasons road tarred down to the deepwater port of Walvis Bay. And what we're seeing at OIS from an exploration perspective is large scalable pegmatites, which are providing polymetallic mineralization. So we're not just seeing a lot of lithium within the pegmatites, but we're also seeing some very high grades of tin, tantalum, as well as rubidium.
You're planning to consolidate parcels of ground in the area. Do you think you have a first mover advantage when it comes to exploration there?
Well, one of the things that we've been focused most on as a company is really putting together a strong exploration and management team in country. And we've spent the last 2 years curating that and really building that fit for purpose to make sure that we can seize these opportunities. So when you talk about consolidation of the area, what I think is definitely the case as far as that part of Namibia is concerned is that it's very heavily underexplored. Not a lot of modern exploration or systematic exploration has taken place in that region. And what we're finding is that has really left a lot of opportunities undiscovered. And these are pegmatites, which, as I mentioned earlier, sit along strike of an operating tin mine. And these are areas which have only really seen very low level or limited exploration until Ascari got involved in this region.
You were out with a technical review earlier this month, Gino. Tell us what that told you.
Yeah, so what we've been doing, and initially when we acquired the OIS project, it was lithium focused for us. And of course, we were in a very different lithium market to what we find ourselves today. And so that really governed and drove our exploration and our interpretation of the results as well. What we've done most recently is go back through that database and really review those exploration assay results from a tin, tantalum, rubidium perspective. And what we found is we've got tin results up to 4% tin, but as well as nearly 6,000 ppm tantalum and very high grades of rubidium as well. So what that's telling us is that there's certainly a lot of fertility and in those pegmatites, more specifically from a polymetallic point of view. And that really lends itself to what we're seeing at the OIS mine as well, which is quite literally up the road, in that project is also lithium, tin, tantalum, and rubidium. So we're exploring the same pegmatites as what they're currently mining. There's a lot of more data to come from that project, and we're very eagerly awaiting further assay results from our trenching campaign, which will enable us to mobilize and get on the ground and start a next phase of drilling as well.
Well, let's move on to that gold project in Ethiopia. And of course, a great time to be moving into gold. Tell us about that and the prospects for it.
Yeah, I mean, Ethiopia is an exciting jurisdiction for us again as well. And I mean, this goes part and parcel with the fact that we have leveraged a strong African-focused exploration team. So what I always say to investors is that anything that's in Africa, we obviously look at things from a jurisdictional investment perspective. We obviously want to pick those jurisdictions that are low risk and give us the highest degree of certainty, and certainly give us the most prospectivity. And Ethiopia does exactly that. It's a safe mining jurisdiction, very modern minerals legislation as well. But it's the fact that it's so, again, similar to Namibia, very heavily underexplored. What we are finding there, that Adola Greenstone Belt, which is in the southern part of Ethiopia, certainly, it's the land of giants. There's up to 17.7 million ounces at the Dawe Kote project. You've got Lega Dembi in Sakara, which is another 3 million ounce discovery as well. And you've got these areas in between along that same greenstone belt that, despite sharing the same geology, just haven't been explored for. There's no systematic modern exploration. And so, for Ascari, being an aggressive explorer that we are, these are the sorts of opportunities that really excite our company. And like you've said, Stephen, now's the perfect time to get invested into gold. It's not showing any signs of lessening its aggressive climb in terms of pricing. And I think that eastern part of Africa, all the way from Egypt down into Kenya, passing through Ethiopia, is something that's going to be getting a lot more attention from investors in due course as well.
So what should your investors be looking out for in the short to medium term then, Gino?
Well, certainly exploration work that's going to be underway very shortly at OIS, which is, again, as I mentioned, focus on tin tantalum. We've got a lot of project area that still hasn't been systematically explored there. So, as I mentioned, trench assay results will be coming through shortly, and that'll enable us to mobilize and start a third phase of drilling there as well. In Ethiopia, early exploration work will be getting underway in what we call the Wayuboda project area, but we're also actively negotiating and in due diligence over a number of advanced brownfields projects as well. So there's a lot that investors have got to look forward to, be it in Namibia or the tin tantalum or in Ethiopia as we look to expand our reach in the gold space. There's a lot of news flow that's going to be coming out from our company.
That sounds like a busy period ahead. Gino, I hope you'll keep us posted on any developments. Thank you very much for the introduction today.
Perfect. Thanks so much again for hosting, Steve.
Very welcome. Gino D'Anna, he's Executive Director at Ascari Metals.